Nirmala Mata, Nirmala Mata, you are my life, you are my heart, you are my life, so
Welcome all. Thank you for joining us today. Today, we want to work with you to help you experience a state of meditation, which you will affirm on your own central nervous system. This state of meditation has been referenced in many traditions and its knowledge from ancient times. We are going to meditate together with you, and hopefully you will experience a state of peace and balance within yourself. As we explain the background of meditation and the specifics of the subtle system, please be relaxed. We would recommend that you sit comfortably, whether it be on a chair or on the ground, whatever works for you. This is an easy process, so be relaxed, be calm, keep an open mind. And now we're going to go to Adya to explain the specifics of meditation.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. We're very happy to have you here with us today. As an overview, today we'll be understanding the true meaning of meditation. You'll also experience the power of meditation for yourself through an interactive session. At the end, we'll have a question and answer session. So what exactly is meditation? In the day and age of social media and the internet, we have all heard of different types of meditation. So what does being in meditation truly mean? Is it concentration? Is it training the mind? Or is it focus? In addition to being all of these things, it's actually a state of thoughtless awareness. This is a state where your mind is blank and you're at complete peace. This is something Meghna will discuss in more detail throughout this presentation.
So here we have a chart of our subtle system. In our body, we have a lot of energy. And to carry this energy, we have thousands of energy channels. In places where this energy is concentrated, we have energy centers, which can also be called chakras, and in medical terminology, they can be called plexuses. So we have 6 chakras that run up our spine, and the last chakra, the 7th one, sits atop the head. We have 3 main energy channels in our subtle system. First, we have our right sympathetic, which is shown here in yellow. It's associated with the sun, and it's in charge of our activity and intellect. Second, we have our left sympathetic channel, which is shown here in blue, and this is associated with the moon, and it controls our desires and our emotions. And finally, third, we have our parasympathetic, our central channel, which is shown here in white, and it runs along the center of our body, along the spine. Another very important thing to notice from this picture is the triangle in orange. This houses the 3.5 coiled energy, which is a motherly energy, an energy that all of us have. And when this energy is awakened, it rises through our center channel and passes through the 6 centers above it. And when it finally reaches the 7th center, the one at the very top, it reaches the brain. And when this energy finally reaches the brain, we experience complete mental silence. And this mental silence is what's known as thoughtless awareness.
As Meghna mentioned, this state of thoughtless awareness is what happens when this motherly energy rises to the top of our head and breaks through. And this state of awareness was mentioned by Carl Jung, who is one of the greatest psychologists of all time. He has explained that the awakening of this motherly energy, this Kundalini energy, will activate a new dimension of awareness. And this state has also been referenced by Albert Einstein, who has talked about something known as the torsion area, which is something beyond our human mind. This is a state where all absolute truths can be known. And both Carl Jung and Albert Einstein were at the pinnacle of their fields in psychology and science. and both of them have talked about the state of awareness. Now we're going to go to Kabir, who's going to introduce our teacher and tell us a little bit more about the Kundalini.
Hello and good afternoon. It's now my honor to introduce to you all our teacher, a master of masters who discovered the technique that allows us to effortlessly achieve the state of awareness that Vineet and Meghna and Adya have been talking about. Srimataji Nirmala Devi is her name. She is a mother, a grandmother, and a great-grandmother. And she was also the wife of the Secretary General of the United Nations Maritime Organization. But even more than all of that, she was so special because she was not only able to connect to the state of awareness that we've been talking about, but she also had the ability to help others feel and experience that same state right from our homes. Our teacher has said that the heightened state of awareness, called as thoughtless awareness, can be achieved by anybody because it's an ability that we're all born with. And you can't put a price on it, just as you can't pay the Mother Earth for producing flowers or trees, because it's just a natural process. That's another step in our evolution. And people of all ages can experience it, including kids like us. So many of my friends who are here with me today have been meditating daily from a very early age. Our teacher has explained that we can clear our mind from thoughts and enter into meditation by raising this coiled up motherly energy that Meghna showed us, which has been called by many names in various traditions, including the Kundalini in Hinduism, the Ruh in Islam, and the Holy Ghost in Christianity. When we raise this energy up our spine, it passes through the 6 energy centers until it reaches the top of our head. So consider 2 candles where one of them is lit and one of them is not lit. Just by bringing those 2 wicks together, the flame passes to light the second candle, but the brightness of the first candle doesn't grow any less. So in the same way, we can just obtain and share that living energy that can rise up our spine and enlighten us. So as this energy passes through all the centers, it enlightens and nourishes them, and it cleanses each part of our body in a way that we can all experience on our hands and our feet. And at the final center, at the top of our head, when the energy reaches that center, we can feel a state of bliss where we are devoid of all thoughts and distractions, and that leaves behind just an awareness of the truth by which we are surrounded, hence the name thoughtless awareness. So to explain all of this a bit more, we'll now listen to a recording where our teacher is explaining this motherly energy, all the different energy centers, and the entire process of meditation.
Srimataji, what is Sahaja Yoga?
Sahaja, Saha means with, Ja means born. So it is born with you the right to become united, which is the yoga, with the divine.
And this Sahaja Yoga is something that everybody can have, is it? Is something everybody can practice?
Of course.
And how does this connection with the divine take place?
We have within ourselves this power in the triangular bone, which is called as sacrum, meaning sacred, which when awakened sprouts like a prelude in a seed and rises through 6 subtle centers, opens out the last center and gets connected with the divine, which is a subtle energy all around us, which organizes us, which nourishes us, does all the living work. Above all, it loves us.
Does this mean, Srimataji, that people who have not had the ability to practice Sahaja Yoga are not connected with the divine?
Most of them are not. And if some of them are, they don't know all about it.
So this is an extra force that is available to human beings to develop themselves in this world.
Of course. This is the last breakthrough of our evolution, where you have to get connected with the divine, you have to feel it on your central nervous system, and that's how you get your self-realization.
do I perceive here that this is a way of balancing oneself, of keeping in such a way, of living one's life in such a way that one is not unbalanced in one's view of what is going on around us?
Yes, we have two sides in our system of autonomous nervous system, left and right, which we call as left and right sympathetic nervous system. The left side caters for our emotions, for our past, our desires. The right side caters for our action, physical and mental. If you indulge into one too much and go too far with it, you develop an imbalance within yourself. In the center lies the third power, which we call as parasympathetic nervous system. This is the channel which is the central path of ascent. When the Kundalini rises through it, it brings you in the balance because it rises in the center of the system. So this is the minimum that happens, that you develop your balance.
So how does one actually achieve this balance?
It just happens spontaneously.
In other words, there's no physical requirement on an individual.
Not at all, not at all. It's a evolutionary step, as I told you. In our evolution, we have developed a balance. We can stand on our two legs. Animals cannot. In the same way, you develop this special balance between your emotions and your actions in a very proper way.
You speak as though this is some sort of evolutionary step.
Yes, it is. It is the last breakthrough, that you have to become the spirit now. And this has to be achieved, which can be achieved only through a living process, because we have become human beings through a living process, and that living process has to act within us.
This sounds as though it is rather a significant time then in the history of humanity.
Very much. In the history of humanity, in the history of evolution, in the history of spirituality, is the most important time, because here where you will get whatever has been promised to you so far.
So it's no accident then that Sahaja Yoga has appeared in the world at this time?
No, not at all, not at all. It's all predicted thousands of years back in India, and later on by many saints. Even William Blake has predicted it.
So you have an expectation really that this thing called Sahaja Yoga will change the world?
Of course. It changes human beings and they manifest the change outside. And we create a new race. That's what they're talking about. If you go, they talk of new age, of a new race. But I don't know what is their imagination about it. They talk about all these things, Aquarius, and Aquarius is the Kundalini. She's placed in the Aquarius. And they talk about Aquarius age, all kinds of things. They're talking, writing, thinking about it. But when it comes to actualization, I think they think I am very too simple for them, not complicated. And Sahaja Yoga is too simple. It should be very complicated. And all their own ideas about seeking, that they must suffer, they must go to Himalayas, they must starve themselves, and then only they can get realization.
Srimataji, is the evolution of the planet closely related to the evolution of humanity?
Of course, it is. Very much related. And the planet, our planet is moving in a spiral way. All the planets are moving in a spiral way, and they are creating all possible things for the use of human beings so that they can save time. Save time for getting their ascent and for meditative growth. But people don't understand that part.
Srimataji, what we have been talking about, many people would regard as a belief or a theory. How does one know the difference between truth and a belief?
First of all, anything for which you have to pay money is not the truth. You can't pay for truth. If you cancel out that, I think 99.9% all the falsehood will drop out. But truth, to be really actualized, you have to have self-realization. Then you feel on your fingertips vibratory awareness, a new dimension awareness, by which you can make out what is true and what is false. That's an absolute truth that you realize at that stage.
So one must have one's realization really to be able to tell the truth.
Even to follow anyone, one must have realization.
Srimataji, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Srimata,
Russians are doing one film too.
yeah, that's right.
Russians are doing one film.
Srimata, I was reading an article just now where you were talking about inner peace and outer peace. This seems to be something that attracts the attention of people in this present stressful age.
By realization, what happens? As a result, you become a person endowed with thoughtless awareness. That means you see everything, you witness everything, and whenever you want to say or to think, you can see about it. But you don't react. There's no reaction. So you are empowered to see it in such a manner that there need not be any thought. Just the whole creation acts on you. It's a very subtle thing. It's to be experienced. And that is the point where we realize that we are the source of peace. And that's how our inner peace is established. Now people have many foundations of peace. I have known all of them. They have no peace within themselves. Some people have got peace awards. They are horribly hot-tempered people. But they have got peace awards, Nobel Prizes. The peace has to be first of all found inside, and then it manifests outside. It is created within us during the process of our evolution. The first one is the most beautiful one because it stands for our innocence. This innocence is the one which gives us real support, real strength. And you'll be surprised, it is never destroyed. It may be overshadowed, there may be clouds, maybe it may look to be a very dark sky, maybe a hopeless case. Some people might say that we have destroyed our innocence. It cannot be destroyed. Whatever you might have done, this is one center which cannot be destroyed. You may have problems with it, but it cannot be destroyed. It is such a wonderful center you have got, which has got 4 petals, which looks after the pelvic plexus, looks after all the excretion within us. In our own freedom, so-called, we do all kinds of things which may not be benevolent for ourselves. Doesn't matter. Kundalini cannot be destroyed. The source which is going to give you the self-realization, I say she is your individual mother. And this mother is such a loving mother, and she knows each and everything about you from your past lives. She knows you very well. She's just waiting for a chance that she can be awakened and she can give you your second birth. So what happens in the second centers when it enters? You just become dynamic, because the second center is for aesthetics and for creativity. Because their Kundalini goes up And the creativity becomes so tremendously active and so dynamic. At the same time, that person becomes very mild, very sweet, very compassionate. So this violence, this anger, this temper is not your creation. It's the creation of your liver. Your liver is little out of order because of many things, and the temper is there. Now, when the temper is too much, you don't know what to do. I mean, you can do whatever you like. In your temper, after all, it's like a drunken personality. You have to approach a person in a temper with a barge pole. But all this temper, everything becomes so cool and so beautiful. It's very surprising. A very dynamic person becomes extremely compassionate. So in Sahaja Yoga, an artist who is struggling today may become a great artist tomorrow. But still I would say these are temptations. You'll become a great artist, you start earning more money, this, that. But that's not the one you have to really be satisfied with. You will never be satisfied with that. So you move to the third center, which we call as the Nabhi chakra. This center is, on one side, is made of water, another side with fire. Around it are our 10 valencies, which we can call as our innate religion within ourselves. Now this Nabhi itself, or we can call the solar plexus, or we can say the navel chakra, gives us, as soon as the Kundalini rises, she awakens this, and the light, when it spreads, you become religious. I don't have to tell you anything. You just become. I don't have to say that you don't take drugs. You just don't take it. Overnight I have seen people have given up drugs. Overnight alcoholism, overnight everything. And they enjoy their virtues. That's the best part of it. Some people think, oh, then what is the fun? What is this that you take something in the pub and next day you have hangover? Here you take something and next day you are much better off. It never comes down. It never gives you a reaction. It's not artificial. It's not intoxicating. It is from your nerves. It's bubbling out. So this is the center which is very important in us, because most of us have a problem with this center. And here we have a capacity by this center that we enjoy our generosity. Now we have the center which we call here as the heart center. It controls the left and right both. So we have a left and right heart in Sahaja Yoga. As you know that in childhood till the 12 years of age, the thymus, this sternum bone creates the antibodies for you. And these antibodies fight your diseases. So when this center goes out, this is the center which sends all the messages to these antibodies. Now this is the center of a mother. When your motherhood is challenged, you develop breast cancer. Supposing a man is a flirt and his wife is worried, she might get a breast cancer because her motherhood is challenged. And her sense of security is very disturbed. As a result of that, she gets this problem. But do you know this is the center of a husband or of the father? Now if I am telling you, you should not be shocked, because later on you will find it. Now if you are a bad husband, you can get asthma. Or if your wife is a shrew, you might get an asthma. Or if you are a very bad father, you might get an asthma. Or if your father is not kind to you, you might get an asthma. If you have not forgiven your father, you might get asthma. The left heart is the place of the mother. Now, if your mother has been hard with you, if you have had very bad experiences, you will have problems of the left heart. Center heart is very important, where your sense of security should be established. You'll be surprised in the disease called AIDS, is the center heart, which is out. We have tried to cure, and we cured also 3-4 people from AIDS, but they have no willpower to continue with surgery. So then we come to this center, which is we call as the Vishuddhi. This is 16 petals, looks after the cervical plexus. Now this is a very, very important center, and this is the center is for communication. Also, when we think we are very responsible, the center goes out. But once you become a Sahaja Yogi, you just do it, no doubt. But you don't think that you are doing it. You just say it's happening. And what a beautiful feeling it is. Then you don't have blood pressures, you don't have headaches, you don't have tensions. No, because we are not doing it, it's just done. And you find it's all done. Now on this center when we come, as I told you, your thinking is controlled by you. You can control. If you want, you can think, or you don't think. But in that silence, you feel your peace. If there's too much of crowds, too much of problems, suddenly you become the witness. You start seeing everything, seeing the problem, what it is. Unless and until you can see the problem, you cannot solve it. Because you are in the problem, you just get upset. But if you are out of the problem, you can see it. And that's what happens to you when you become thoughtlessly aware, when this center opens out. Last but not the least is the center of limbic area, which is very important. Now, I do not know it has been discovered or not, but will be very soon discovered that very strong things like cracks and all that have got sulfuric acid in it. And that doesn't go anywhere in the body, just rushes into the limbic area. Now this limbic area is a hollow place, which has got all cells here very sensitive to joy, happiness, but they become numb. So numb that ordinary music you cannot hear. Somebody has to scream at you, has to shout at you, has to jump on it. Otherwise you cannot enjoy. Then it has to be worse and worse and worse and worse. I don't know, now with cracks, later on they might develop something even more poisonous. Because it has to excite this limbic area, which is such an important thing. But as soon as the Kundalini enters into that area, limbic area, she soothes it, and it opens like a lotus, 1,000-petal lotus. It opens, and then the Kundalini emerges out of your fontanelle bone area and gets connected to the all-pervading power. Then you start feeling the cool breeze in your hand. You can feel it all over. Some people in the beginning who felt cool breeze would not believe it. So they closed doors, everything, and sat down to see. Still they were feeling it. But it works. Works in the sense that you get empowered. You become peaceful. You become the witness. You become the wise. And you become empowered that you can give realizations to others like this, that you can raise their kundalini like this, and you can establish that connection. You can do it. And this is what is your right to have it. This is what will give you meaning. Otherwise, so far, whatever we have been doing is very frustrating.
Now that we've learned more about Sahaja Yoga meditation and how it works, we're going to play a recording of a guided session with Shrimataji. She's going to walk you through the process of getting your self-realization and meditating. It's a very simple process, so all you need to do is relax, sit comfortably, and take off your shoes. And in the video, Shrimataji will ask you to follow certain steps. This will include closing your eyes and putting your right hand on certain areas of your body. As you place your right hand on these areas, she'll ask you to say affirmations. So she'll ask you to place your hand on your heart, left heart, your upper abdomen, and then your lower abdomen, and then your upper abdomen again, and then your heart. And then she'll ask you to place your right hand at the junction of your shoulder and neck. And as you do so, you may turn your head to the right. After that, she'll ask you to tilt your head forward and cradle your forehead in your hand. And then she'll ask you to place your palm on the top of your head and rotate your scalp 7 times. She'll go more in depth in the video, so you can just follow along.
Now, put your left hand towards me, comfortably. Put your feet apart from each other. And now, put your right hand on your heart and close your eyes. Here you have to ask me a very important question. In your heart, you ask me a question as you would ask a computer. You can call me Shri Mataji or Mother, whatever you like. Mother, am I the spirit? Ask the question. In your heart, not loudly. 3 times, ask in your heart, not loudly. Mother, am I the spirit? You have to only ask in your heart. If you are the spirit, you become your own guide, you become your own master, you become your own guru. So now take down your right hand into the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side. And here you have to ask another question 3 times, not loudly, in your heart. Mother, am I the spirit? Mother, am I my own master? Mother, am I my own master? Ask this question 3 times. Am I my own master? I have told you that I respect your freedom and the pure knowledge cannot be forced on you. So please take your right hand in the lower portion of your abdomen and say it 6 times. asking me, Mother, please give me pure knowledge. I cannot force on you. You have to ask in your free will. As soon as you ask for the pure knowledge, the Kundalini starts moving upward. So now we have to nourish the higher centers with our self-confidence. Raise your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen. Press it hard on the left hand side. And here with full confidence you have to say 10 times in your heart, not loudly. Mother, I am my own master. Please say this 10 times. Mother, I am my own master. I told you at the very outset that the greatest truth about you is that you are not this body, you are not this mind, you are not these conditionings, emotions, nor this ego, but you are the spirit, you are the pure spirit. So now raise your right hand onto your heart and ask here, or say with full confidence 12 times, Mother, I am the spirit. Just say it without any hesitation. Say it 12 times, please. For your information, you have to know that the divine power is the source of knowledge, is the ocean of knowledge, is the ocean of love. It is the ocean of peace and ocean of bliss. But above all, it is the ocean of forgiveness. So you cannot commit any mistake which cannot be dissolved by the power of this ocean of forgiveness. So please raise your right hand in the corner of your neck and your shoulder. Push it back as much as possible and turn your head to your right. And with full confidence, please say 16 times. Full confidence in your heart. Mother, I am not guilty at all. All right? As I told you before, that you have to forgive everyone. And those who say it is difficult, they must know that it is a myth whether you forgive or don't forgive. But if you don't forgive, then you play into the wrong hands and get yourself tortured by yourself. So please forgive. In general, everyone, not counting how many people you have to forgive, what you have to forgive, but just say, by raising your hand, and putting it on top of your forehead across, putting down your head as much as possible, resting on your hand. Please say, with an open heart, please say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Please say, otherwise it is difficult later on for me. I have to clear out everybody's agya and it takes too much time then. So best is to say it from your heart. After all, you are not going to miss your self-realization for that. Now, take back your right hand on the back side of your head and put your head on it, resting on it, upward. Here you have to say for your own satisfaction, O Divine, if I have done any mistakes, please forgive me. But don't feel guilty. Don't count your mistakes, don't think about them. In general you have to say, O Divine, please forgive me if I have done any mistakes or anything wrong, anything against you. Now, stretch your palm. Stretch your palm and put the center of your palm on top of the fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone in your child. Now, put down your head properly. And here, push back your fingers as far as possible. Please push back. This is very important. And now put a pressure on your scalp and move your scalp slowly 7 times clockwise. Here again I respect your freedom and I cannot force self-realization on you. So here you have to say 7 times, bending your head properly and pressing it hard, moving 7 times. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Please ask 7 times, please.
Now, raise your left hand above your head, making sure it does not touch your head. You can adjust it as needed by moving it up or down, trying to feel a cool or warm breeze coming out of the top of your head. Now, we can put our left hand back on our lap and put our right hand on top of our head. Again, not touching it, trying to feel a cool or warm breeze. Now we will meditate with our eyes closed, keeping our hands on our lap, palms open, trying to stay calm and peaceful. Hi, everyone. So at this point, we would encourage everyone to turn on their cameras if they feel comfortable, because we'd like to hear your experiences. So if anyone felt any sort of cool or warm breeze on the palms of their hands, or any sort of tingling sensation on your fingertips, or maybe when Arjun asked you to raise your hand on top of your head with either your right or left arm, if you felt a cool or warm breeze coming out of your head, we'd like to hear your experience. And if you don't want to unmute and share, you can write your experiences in the chat as well. So for the two people that said they experienced a cool breeze on their head, if you feel comfortable, would you like to share or elaborate? Okay, sure, no problem. So thank you so much for your response. If anyone has any questions about this meditation or Sahaja Yoga in general, please feel free to ask us or again, write it in the chat.